Yo, good morning. Right, so was that a bit loud? Hello, hello, hello. Right, that might be okay. Right, okay. So I'm just going to break down this trade you've done here, Dane. Why I think it's failed. I've not really looked at it apart from 3 minutes just to track it back. So we'll start from the top down. NAS 100. What's happening with NAS? Mm, yeah, yeah. Okay, so you've got supply, but it's not really broke anything. And then you've got demand held in, so it's not really broke anything. So on the daily, note's really been broke. Kind of traded between a range for me for that. Overall, obviously it's trending upwards. That shouldn't really matter too much for the short-term trade you were playing today. But we kind of are stuck between two ranges. Got possible liquidity resting below there. But what's been happening here? So kind of use this FVG. Kind of had a reaction to that. Obviously, to use that part of the FVG. Get a reaction to that. So that didn't break, did it? But we've had breaks here. Had breaks here. And then, like I say, that's held. So you kind of are between a bit of a range. So directionally, for me, I wouldn't really know where to take NAS 100 at the moment. So yeah, just looking at that, it's entering a bit of a squeeze. So I really wouldn't actually trade this, um, just because I don't have a target for the higher time frame, really. Could argue this is a chain. It's not really broke anything. But you could argue this is a chain that might need to go up there. Obviously, the overall trend has been bullish, so that might have to fail. Coming to the 15 minute. Yeah, not really to the left to react to, is there? Boom, boom. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Kind of had like supply holding here. Supply holding. It looks like it's reversed. Yeah, you've had like a bit of a kind of just a crudely drawn train. But yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from. Like you're wanting to go short. The only problem is we've not had much breaks, but we have had internal breaks here. So yeah, I know what you're saying. But then this is liquidity. You said you didn't know why you was liquidity, but that's internal range liquidity if the order flow has shifted, which it's failed to take that like held and then it broke. So I mean, so you could, yeah, that's like a reaction. That's a flip. It's not fully failed. So yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Thinking you'd be okay with a short, like maybe you would have been. The only thing is, the it's just the like if you trade to the higher time frame, like who's in control? No, they're both in control at the minute, so it's neutral. You've got like supplies holding and demand holding. You want like demand failing and then supply holding to know who's actually in control if using order flow in your favor. Same as this, getting into here, supply is holding, but this last bit of demand here, your target didn't break. If this candle smash through that, you're like, oh, this demand's failed now, and then it could trade up into here, and then you'd have like a weak target, which was here, just from 15-minute order flow. But the order flow on the 15 minutes not lined up. That's what you got to think. That's why on my charts above here, follow the trend, follow the rules, where's the liquidity, discipline, and it used to have who is in control. It doesn't have who is in control anymore. But yeah, you just got to think who is in control. That should be one of your big things for trading, to wonder who is in control. Because even before you've took the trade, you've not had no demand failing. It's held. So you're entering an absolute squeeze there. So yeah, that would just be my thoughts on that. Get directional bias first. If all that had failed, if this then does fail, then maybe look for shorts. If that fails, maybe you can look for longs from like down here or something if it breaks. But from the overall higher time perspective, you're caught between two zones. No one's in control. On the daily, who is in control? Mm, no one really, because it's not really broken, has it? Not really had anything break. So that'll just be a takeaway for that. I know what you were saying. You don't know where the liquidity had come from, but you didn't have anyone in control with order flow. You've got a line order flow with liquidity as well, things like that. So yeah, right then. I'll move on to the next one now. Just a little like rundown if anyone's still watching this video. Jumped in this EU sell that has absolutely ranged for hours. And I don't know if it's going to get in. It's NFP day, so it's probably not going to work, which is a pain in the ass. But I know as soon as I close it out, it's probably going to go boom, boom, boom. And I'll just be here like, thank you very much. But yeah, that was my thinking this might be the high of the day. Tapped into this POI here. But like I say, like you can argue, you can use my own argument against me. I've had internal breaks, but then we had this break here, so that's why I decided to take that. We had these internal breaks. This zone ended up making this break. You could say that were a sweep with the force that came in, and I was wary that that would be a sweep. Um, but yeah, no, we entered. We entered because I've got the overall bias for the day. Like supply is in control. I want this to be a target. Like we've come down, we've come up. I want the low of the previous week to be a target. It's looking like it's going to be an inside bar week this week. Just is what it is. Yeah, that's just my thoughts for that. So, hope we all have a good weekend. I said I wasn't going to trade today. I kind of wish I didn't after wasting 2 hours watching this range. But it is what it is. And there, look at that now. Yeah, so I'm miles down. I'm going to be miles down now. But yeah, that'd be just one takeaway for that day in Sunset. Just who is in control? Who is in control of the trade using order flow, supply and demand?